Hello, good evening. Good evening, welcome. Welcome, my name is Obin Dakon. Welcome. Today, I want to share something I've termed teach the children about money. Teach the children about money. African parents so desire for their children to become great. They desire a lot of parents, grandparents who did not have the opportunity to go to school, for instance, would desire that their children will have the opportunity to go to school. A lot of them were where I come from. A lot of them were cocoa farmers. They were people who worked on their own, and they so desire that their children will go to school, and become great. Many, even our generation. Hello, Samoa, welcome. Uh, Even many of our generation, those that they sent to school, those that think that have been educated, uh, we think that they also, sent us to school to go and learn something. And so very few people are coming from a family background where there was a program, there was a training manual, there was a structure where the people were taught about money. I don't know how many people, I don't remember most of my friends ever were taught. It will be just one statement from a parent to say that, all the normal things they talk about money. And then they hope that their children will become successful. What you train your children with will control their lives and will control their future. Whatever they train us with. If they did not train us, that which they did not train us will also have the power to control the same future and the same lives. So if you want your children to be different, if you want your children to have control over their future and their lives, they must be equipped with better knowledge about money. The problem is that, how about if you yourself you don't know it? Then what do you teach them? Okay, there are a lot of things that you're teaching them that you don't necessarily know, but you're telling them. You're telling them that they should be good. You're telling them that they should not follow the boys. You're telling them that they should not follow the girls. They should not smoke weed. You're telling them that they should not become thieves. They should go to school and study hard. Those things that you're telling them, they are good, but they are not the main things. Because after all, if you wish that your child should become whatever you want them to become, I mean, they should not play with their education so that they will be successful in their lives. What you're hoping for these children is that they will not be poor. That's what most parents are wishing for their children. You want better future for your children would mean that you don't want them to be poor. And yet, where you are training them, the school that you are sending them to, nobody is teaching them about money. Then you as a parent, because you were not taught, most of us were not taught, that's the fact. So because you are not taught and you have not also retrained yourself, it will not be part of the timetable that I have to teach these children myself about money. Money is a common denominator. It controls a lot of things on this earth. It has power. You don't have to deny it. So we just have to have a way of teaching them. If you want your children to live a better life, probably than the way we struggle. Because most of the information that we have had about money, most of us would have had to learn it. That is, if you have learned it at all, we have had to learn about money ourselves, and the control you have with money, the freedom, the security, how much you have invested, or how much money controls you, is all coming from what you have learned or what they told you, what your parents told you, what the society taught you, what you have been trained with. So I think that we can give our children better leverage by at least talking about it. If the child can watch cartoon and can speak, you have to tell them there's something called money. After all, they know that you pay their school fees with money, and they should understand how it is made, how it is conserved, how it is multiplied, and how it can help them to live the life that they want. So some of the things that you may want to talk about is that at least once a month, even if it's 2 minutes, even if it's 10 minutes. Talk to them about it. Ask them questions. Have a presentation. Search yourself. Maybe just 2, 3 points that like all we were taught is about ways to make it to heaven, such as money is the root of all evil. That's what they told us. He said the rich man will not go to heaven because for a rich man to go to heaven, he has to go through the needle, something, the eye of the needle. Those are all things that they told us, and that's why most of us struggle all our lives. Most people struggle all our lives. We are always at the red line. The problem is not there is no money. The problem is that what they taught us about money is not the truth. So we struggle with it. Everything that we struggle with in this life, it only means that what we know about it is not enough to give us an advantage. That's why we struggle with it. So if you're struggling with money, it's not because we are bad people. It's because what we are taught is wrong. So if you want your children to know, then you may have to learn it the hard way. Sometimes you may not even know it, but learning how to teach them, you may end up teaching yourself some of the things that your parents or your grandparents should have taught you. So it is your responsibility as a parent to teach your children about money. You don't let other people teach them about money. You have to teach them about money. Just as you don't want other people to teach them about sex, you don't want other people to teach them about all these things that you think may destroy them. Money is lethal if you don't have the right knowledge. Money is dangerous. It destroys lives if you don't have the right knowledge. A lot of choices that people make in this life is all around money. A good man can easily go to jail because he stole money. A good man can easily be in a bad situation because he didn't understand how money. Hunger can personally teach you. Maybe, but there are people who have been hungry all their lives. So they have to learn from you. You have to teach them that for them to get money, it is their also responsibility to learn it. Just as they are learning to pass the exam in the class. Passing the exam in the class is good. Becoming the first boy all the time is good. But that is so much different from how to get money. Becoming a doctor is good, but it's so different from how to control and have freedom with finances. There's difference. Why? Because the teacher who is teaching that boy, who is marking your son, who is marking your daughter, and telling you that that son or that daughter has a future, what they mean is that that daughter can become something. And what they really mean is that that daughter or that son will work for salary. That's what they know. That's what the teacher knows. And there's nothing wrong with that. The only thing is that that teacher most likely is struggling with his finances. So he cannot teach your son about money. He will not even have the confidence. Nobody taught him. And that teacher may not also be able to teach your daughter. So you, as a parent, you must do that. You must take it as a personal duty to teach them about money. One way or the other, my mother was talking about money, but not as a training, not as something that she was doing it consistently, and not even how to get it. She just thought it. She just said something like, it's something like that. But it's not like these are the things that you have to understand. These are the things that you have to do for you to have an advantage over money. She didn't know much. She worked. She did her best, but she could not teach us. So we grew up learning a lot of these things ourselves. And it goes through a lot. It goes through a lot. It goes through a lot. So you have to teach your children. It's your choice. It's your decision. Even if you are struggling, there's nothing wrong when you go to the bookshop to buy a book about money, even if you don't like it, because you're working for it anyway. Tomorrow, Monday, you go to work. A lot of people don't like the work that they are doing, but because of the salary, they will go. So let's face it, you are working for money. And so why would you want your children to grow with the same ignorance on money? And you say that you love them. That is dangerous. So teach them that money is not evil. It's not, they didn't state in the Bible that money is evil. They said that the love of it is evil. When you love it above any other thing, then the master said that it's evil. he did not say that it is evil. Because somewhere Solomon said that it answers everything. Everything in this physical realm, everything on this earth can be answered with money. As a matter of fact, a lot of people going for all night and praying all day long, their problem can be solved if they have money. Most people, the things that they cry and worry about in this world are money related. Whether it's the difficulties in the marriage or the job that they don't like, the bad car that they are driving, the rent that they cannot pay, that they are worried, the school fees of the children that they cannot pay, the sickness that they have that they cannot pay from better medical care. A lot of the worries in this life, a lot of them are money related. It does not mean that the people with a lot of money don't have problems, but their problems is not the lack of it. So it's better to have money problem, but not the lack of it, because the lack of it makes you think of it every time, and it seizes your brain. And so teach them about money, and tell them that money is neutral. If money is in the hands of a good man, money is good. If it's in the hands of an evil man, then money is evil. So sika imoja, yes, they say money is blood. You trade your time. You go to work for 1 month, they pay you 2,000. Actually, you worked before they paid you that 2,000. If you didn't go, they will not pay you. So really, that 2,000 is your life. That 1 month will never come to you again. It's gone. So we cannot trivialize it. The world takes advantage of people because of ignorance. You see, the way they program all of us, the world is filled with a lot of things that don't help people to live the best of their lives. They promote entertainment. They promote, the things that Shatawali has gone here, then they put it in the media. If you read that, what do you get? You're struggling with your money. You're struggling with your life. You don't know where to go. And yet, this is the kind of information that they put out there. A lot of the things that they put in this life, in the media especially, most of this Western world, the things that they put there, no wonder people are going through a lot of pains, a lot of struggles in this life, because it's all trash. The things that people need to improve their lives and to solve the basic things, the family issues, the problems that they are dealing with, the information that they need to live life at peace at least, and to have sense of purpose, sense of mission, and to be able to help other people. Those kind of information, they don't put it out there. They put trash. Ghana, the time that we were having power issues, they could give us power to watch football. It's amazing. It's amazing. And yet people will go back the next day and sleep in darkness. That's how the world has been programmed. I don't know who programmed it. And so you have to teach your children. Because if they don't have control over money, they will struggle. It doesn't matter which profession that they get. It doesn't matter which profession that your children become. It does not matter. If you go to any profession, there are poor people there. Go to the court and see lawyers who cannot eat. If you don't know it, just go and see it. Go and see judges who have nothing. Go and see teachers who are struggling. Go and see engineers cannot put anything together. So profession and education has very little to do with money. What has to do with money is the quality of information you have on money. Because the choices that you're making, the choices that I'm making, they are all reflecting the choices that the decisions, the quality of the decisions that you're making reflect in our finances. So if you don't have better financial information, you're going to struggle. And so the children are programmed. Most of us were programmed with not any better information on money. And so the first, 30 years of your life, you will struggle because nobody told you. You didn't even know that you had to have that. Some people are 60, they still don't know. Some people are 70, they're not aware that the financial difficulties that they have gone through all their lives is because they did not have any better financial knowledge. And somebody should have told them, and nobody told them. Because they just told them that once you go to school and you get a clerk job, you get a teacher job, you get a nursing, a doctor, lawyer, or even become a politician, you'll be rich. If you're a politician and you have money, and before you became a politician, you didn't have anything, the only reason you have money is that you were stealing. And you don't need to steal to get money. At least if you don't want to even become a millionaire, the one that you can have to have leverage, you don't have to steal it. The fact that you're stealing is because you don't have better information on money. The fact that you're cheating the country means that you are ill-equipped with money. Nobody told you that if you steal money, you self-destruct. It destroys you. Eventually, it will destroy you. And it destroys the family economy. It will destroy your personal economy. It will destroy even the country's economy. Any country that plays with the money, they think that they can do anything with the money, the economy will destroy. And that's why you can see a lot of countries like that. A lot of companies who play with the money, the company will destroy. Because money, you can play with it. It's neutral. Whatever you do with it, it will come back to you. And so teach them about money. It is your responsibility. Teach them about having a plan with their money. Teach them about having a plan. At least 1 year plan, 2 year plan, 90-year plan about money. The quality of their plan will decide their financial freedom. They can live to become anything. They can become sportsmen. They can become anything. If they have the right information, their finances will be different. Because what I know is that profession and finances are supposed to be separate. Profession and your finances are supposed to be separate. So your children would have to grow knowing that. So they want to become the first in the class, no problem. But does not mean that they have advantage of the guy who was last in the class in terms of having financial leverage. It's not like that. You become first in the class, you will get maybe a better job than the guy who was last in the class. But after 10 years, the one with money and freedom of it and the security is the one who had better information on money, not the one who worked for it. Okay, so teach them about that. They should have a plan. You should have a plan. And if you can, help them to start to work a little earlier. They say that child abuse, forget, there's no child abuse anywhere. If they can go to school, that's an abuse enough. So if you teach your children how to learn, how to work, is better because they are going to work all their lives. So if you have a place that they can work for 2 hours a week, 3 hours a week, teach them. And if they can be paid, how they start to use that money, we give them some sense. You give them some little sense. They start to understand. And you as a parent, once in a while, you teach them how you also handle your money. Even if you're failing, you teach them because it's important. You teach them about people who work for salary and about people who create money. Because all the world has taught us is for us to work for money, salary. That's why most people don't have it. So people are very much enthusiastic and happy about salary. And that's not how to create wealth. There's something beyond the salary, which they don't teach us. And so they told us to work for salary. And when we get the salary, they told us to buy a car or build a house or what again? Go for holidays, go to Dubai for holidays or buy a nice suit. And they told us that if you give 10% to God, you'll be rich. They told us that. Those are not planned to win financially. You should be able to teach your children about debt, about cash flow, about what they call asset, and what they call liability. Okay, what is an asset? That car that you are driving is taking money from your pocket every day. Don't call it an asset. It's not bringing money. Anything that is not bringing money is not an asset. It's a liability. So that big house that you have, you call it an asset. It is not an asset. When you are in financial difficulties, you will have to sell that house. That which you don't have to sell to still keep your life if there is problem is an asset. But a lot of these things that we keep and we say that they are asset, they may not necessarily be an asset. Even sometimes going for second degree and all those may not necessarily be an asset. They're not, because some people have gone to a further kind of education and they came back and they didn't know what to do with it, yet they paid a lot of school fees. So teach them about cash flow, how money comes to them. Teach them about expenditure, how they spend money. How do they spend money? Can they control the expenditure? Because if everything comes to you and cannot be conserved, then We will live for 20 years, we will have nothing. We live for 30 years, we will have nothing. Do they have a plan? Teach them about the investment plan, no matter how weak it is. Our grandparents had cocoa farms. They were rich. Then they sent us to school. They sent our parents to school. And because they didn't teach them about money, our parents became cratchit. But we're broke. We're poor. And those guys ended up in politics and came to destroy every finances that the country had. So most of the struggles of African countries is because the people who have been handling our finances have been weak financially. So the choices and decisions that they've been making have been wrong. So teach the children about finances, about money. Teach them. It's your decision, it's your choice. Nobody will teach these children. If you don't teach them, they'll be poor. Because those who are going to be taught or to be told these things are the ones who are going to control them. And so they will end up working for these people who have better financial understanding, better financial formula, better financial knowledge. So the fact that you're teaching your child to become, go to the best schools, go to some international school, go to a Pokuari school, go and get a university education somewhere, come to the society, does not mean that they are going to have financial advantage. They are not. It's the financial information, the stronger one. And the earlier that you teach them, the better the advantage that they have for their own future. You can introduce some books to them. After all, they are making them to read all these Anansi stories. They are making them to read all these African stories. They're making them to read all these things about politicians and who is the minister of this, who is the minister of that. The information that they give the children, oh my God, they teach them who is the Secretary General of UN. What does it change? If you don't know, I remember when you were in primary school, they were teaching about PAMSCAT and all those things. And if you could memorize them, then you were intelligent. Were they true? Because those things had no bearing on our financial future. So instead of them to have taught us things that will give us advantage, no, they were teaching us a lot of things that we didn't need. And they continue to teach that, you have time and read about the things, the textbooks that your children are bringing at home. 30% is what is needed, really. 70%, they are just going to make their children to be followers, servants all their life, and struggle with money all their lives. And you see, when you work somewhere and you don't have advantage over your money, if they threaten you to sack you, or they threaten you to move you to a village, because that's what they do, especially those who work for government agencies. If you say your mind, then they will say that they will send you to another village somewhere that nobody lives. And you panic, you are afraid. The only reason you are panicking is because you know that that's what your life depends on. If they don't pay you, your life will be miserable. And if you have worked for 10 years, 20 years, and if they decide to sack you and you cannot maintain your life, and you cannot have the confidence to say that, no, I'm not going. And if you want to sack me, sack me. I have enough invested. I have enough saved. I had a financial plan. I had an investment plan that I was following. And so if my salary is not coming in, I will still be getting some money, which will be able to take care of me until I get another thing to do. If you don't have that, then they will control you. So the only reason you are afraid of them sacking you, it's not because you're afraid of them and you respect them. It's because your life depends on it. It's because your children's future depends on it. It's because your marriage actually depends on it. Where you live, where you sleep, your health, your peace depends on them. And it's not because of the salary, it's because you did not have enough financial education, enough financial knowledge, enough money knowledge. So you have worked for 30 years and you have zero financial knowledge. Zero. And you didn't school yourself in that. Every one of us, if we have not schooled ourselves in that, we are ignorant. Because not the family will teach you, not the school will teach you. And definitely not Peace FM or My Joy Online. They don't care. They want to saturate the atmosphere with unnecessary things, things that will make us laugh, that will make us, laugh and what again? They just numb your pain, but they don't deal with the pain. They put in things there that will never change the fundamentals of your life. And money plays a crucial role. And so your children would have to grow up knowing the difference. And the information you're giving them, they are going to decide whether those children will be able to have the discipline to create their own financial future or not. So it's your duty. The school's duty is to teach them how to read, write, and become chemistry teachers, and become doctors and lawyers. It's your duty as a parent to teach them about money. Even if you don't have it, teach them. Talk to them about it. Have a plan. Don't just teach them not to steal. Go to church. Those are important. But if they go to church and they are broke, they continue to be broke. If somebody shows them money, they'll go and follow them. If you teach them not to steal, does not mean that they are getting better. Because the fact that somebody is not cheating does not mean that his life is getting better. There's difference. There's difference between being a good person and having a plan to succeed. Some people will not lie, will not cheat. But does not mean that they're going to win. You have to have a plan to win. And not stealing is not a plan to win. It's a plan not to go down, but not a plan to win. There's difference. And so it's your duty. Teach them. My name is Obendako. I'm talking about teach your children about money. And I dare say that a lot of us were not taught about it. Nobody showed us. So it's like we hit with our head. You go here, it doesn't work. You go here, it doesn't work. It's like walking in the darkness, You don't know where to go. Your head will hit here, there's blood here. You go here, there's blood here. You go here, there's blood here, because we're not equipped with money information. We're equipped with calculus. We're equipped with Fourier series. We're equipped with thermodynamics. We're equipped with all those mathematical formulas. We're equipped with all those things that they taught us in school. They were not equipped with money information. So all that we could relate with was to finish school, go and look for a job, and at the end of the month they pay us. And the best of it is that save money and go and marry, go and buy a car, and go and build a house. And that's all the formula that we had. And hopefully, they will take Senate. And when you're 60 years, Senate will give you some money till you die. That's not the best of financial plan that you have to have. And you don't want your children to follow that. So you have to teach them that they have to pay attention in school, study. But when it comes to the thing that will give them advantage and freedom to live their lives on their own terms, to live their own purpose, is the money. Because if you have not solved the money issue, you cannot live on your own terms. You can't live a sense of fulfillment if money is a problem all the time. You don't have peace. If you're constantly thinking about money and worried about what to eat, where to sleep, what to wear, if you have not solved it, if you have not planned it, if you left it to God, God did not say leave it to him. He said, don't worry about it. That's not me, don't plan. There's difference. You plan. You plan. So you have to have a plan. Because your plan, the strength of your plan is going to show the strength of your winning, of your victory. And so teach the children about money. Teach them about the fact that it is their own responsibility to take care of their own future in terms of the money. So the moment they start to talk, they start to listen, they start to watch a cartoon. If you can get a cartoon that is talking about money, once someone put it there, they're smiling and jumping and playing trick. They are not going to win with it. So you teach them that, and you teach them about all the lies that they have told us about money, that money is evil, money is all this that they taught you about. Money is not evil. The phone that I'm using, I use money to buy. The internet is money. You send somebody to school, it's money you pay. Money is neutral. If it's in the hands of a good man, it is a good tool. It's only destructive in the hands of a bad person. So money is neutral. So discuss of them having a plan. You can try them where you make them do something and you pay them and you tell them to give you percentages. They have to save a certain percentage of the money. You talk to them about some of the things that the terms. Talk to them about terms. I mean financial terms. Learn them yourself and discuss with them. They can tell you all the big English, but every profession, every stage of life and the words that they use. If you meet a rich man, the words that they use are different. The understanding of words are different. If you meet a poor man, he doesn't understand the rich ways. So if you start to teach them about words that the rich people use, they will start to think like that. It means that you're separating them from poverty. You're separating them from getting addicted to salary, monthly payment, and depending on it. Yes, you're helping them to discipline themselves. The fact that you have money saved does not mean go and buy a car. The fact that they increase your salary does not mean change your apartment. The fact that you have money saved does not mean go and do a big wedding. The discipline to get some money, save it, and invest it, or build a business. The best way to have the opportunity to create wealth is not the only way, but it's the most surest way. Taking risk to build a business. So you may teach them that. And sometimes somebody may also have their salary, work with the business, and they become major player in the business. They may get their pay, they may get their share, and they can also grow it. Because every money that is coming to you is supposed to be multiplied, supposed to grow. It's not supposed to be eaten. You don't save money to go and buy a house. You don't save money to go and buy a car. You don't save money to go and do wedding. You save money to go and grow it, to build a business with it, to expand something with it, to multiply it. That's the essence of saving. You don't save to eat. You take that you want to eat somewhere. But the one that you are saving, you save to grow it. But the world, as they have told us, we don't understand this. So most of the world's population, they save money to enjoy. That's why we are always struggling. That's why we are always insulting those who have the discipline to create a lot of wealth. If you watch TV, CNN, and all these people, there's a section of the world's population which thinks that the very rich owe them something. Nobody owes you anything. A lot of them started with nothing. What helped them is the knowledge that they had, the price that they paid, the sacrifices. So if you start to change your mind and you start to take care of your situation, you can also do the same thing. And you have to put this in the children, that nobody owes them anything. And if you see somebody who has worked and is enjoying his wealth, they don't have to share it with them by force because they pay the price. So if they want to live like that, they have to pay the price like that. They have to spend their time on things that are important, not entertainment and sports and funny things, wasting this youth, wasting a lot of time on things that will never change their situation. So that's how you train them. And if you can do that, hopefully they'll get a better chance of not struggling like us. And they can have maybe some quality financial future. And they should be targeting creating wealth. You don't want to produce children who struggle and poor all their lives, and they should be looking at least 10 million, 20 million kind of investment saved somewhere. You can be a teacher at the JSH level. You are passionate about teaching, but then you have investment, maybe 1 million somewhere that you built over years. There's nothing wrong with that. You like the teaching. You love children. So you're teaching them, you're helping them. That is really the essence. So you're a doctor. You're doing surgeries and everything. But it's not because of the salary. Because that's how you help humanity. But the money, you should have built it yourself. So you are a lawyer. It's not that if they don't pay you, you can't live. That's a bad job. So you help humanity with your craft, with your technical understanding, with your gift. But the money you must solve it yourself. And that at least all of us have about 10 years, 10 to 20 years to build financial, wealth that you may not need other people to control you after a while. So if you started 20 years, by the time that you're 40, at least you should have something that brings in money that is more than what you need. You should have something. Even if you teach, that salary that they've been giving you for the last 20 years, that salary you should have built something. That probably is now maybe 20, maybe 100,000 or 200,000. So that when you go to teach, you're not angry. You're happy as a man. You're happy as a woman. Because you can separate the money from the profession. So you're passionate. You're teaching the children. You're giving them vision. You're giving them life. But that's your quota to build in our country. And that it's not like you're strictly working only for the salary. No. After a while, you cannot work for salary. After a while, you work to make impact. And so whether they pay you or they don't pay you, that's not your life is resting on. No. Because you had a financial plan. And this is what your children should know. So that then the children can pick anything that they are passionate in, that they think they can help humanity with, that they think they can help Africa develop with, So your children can become politicians. They are not entering the politics to come and steal because they had their plan. They think that if they get the political power, they can help us to develop somewhere. That's fantastic. So if they are taught rightly, then they will not get any position to come and screw us because they built a financial plan after a while. These are information that we need. And these are some of the things that the children will need. And if they have them, they'll have a better chance. And if you don't have them, you learn them yourself. And probably you start to practice. And it is never too late. Maybe you're 40 here now. From now to the next 60 years, maybe you look at what can I save and what can I invest in. So maybe you are paid 2,000 a month. 2,000 a month. It's not enough, But what can you take out of it? Or what can you do extra? Can you do something? Can you sell something? Can you get something? Can you search something somewhere? Which maybe you can get 100 Ghana every month. Then you start to have a plan for that 100 Ghana. And for the next 10 years, maybe that money could become 200,000, could become 300,000, could become 500,000. If you put that money in nothing at all, in treasurables, that money could be getting you money that you can live on for the rest of your life without worry. So that when you're a consultant, when you are doing something somewhere, you don't ask. So that's why people can say that we want to bribe you to change the results and you say no. Because you don't need that money. Say no. Because you built your own. So financial freedom is built. It's not the salary. It's not the responsibility of the person who employed you to make you rich. It's nobody's job to make you rich or to make you financially independent. No. It is your responsibility. It is my responsibility. And that is what we teach the children, that it is nobody's responsibility to make them rich. And it is no profession's responsibility for you to become rich. No. Even those who are paid big salaries, like the footballers, if the financial knowledge is weak, it gets to a point, they lose everything. No matter how much they were paid. So it's not so much how much you're paid. It's so much how much you know about money and how to build it and how to grow it. So much. Don't you see a lot of footballers who were paid millions and 3 years after, 10 years after their career, they have nothing? It's not so much how much you're paid. Some of these boxers were paid millions. Some of them cannot even afford rent now. Because it is information that the parents should have told them. And the parents did not teach them. And now that they are adults, you can't do much. But you can change your situation, or you can improve it and help your children to get better at the game. Because money is a game, and every one of us is playing it. And it's a good game. So learn it and never leave it to anybody. Never leave it to your employer, never leave it to God, never leave it to anybody. It's your own responsibility. And you teach that to the children. Teach that. It's not a miracle. It's not lotto. It's teachings. It's proper financial education. You teach them. Teach them. So thank you for watching. Thank you very much for watching.